Most guys will cast this out, or just say our soft plastic out, and let it sink straight to the bottom. Guys, it can be the wrong thing to do at times. What we're going to do today is talk about different depths, running different plastics at different depths. Because your favourite fish might be out there and you're going to let this thing sink straight past it to the bottom and bounce along the bottom. And your favourite fish might be 10 feet, 20 feet above it, mid-water. So what we're going to do is go through some different ways to fish different depths. Okay, let's get into it. And to start off with, we'll talk about this big paddle tail here. This is a big honeycomb paddle tail from Powerbait. These have really taken off up north and stuff. They've been really good for Barra. Okay. They have got quite a bit of weight in their head, so they have got a bit of weight in them. They'll cast a mile. But the idea of these things is to cast them out in a slow roll. And with a lot of weight in them, these things will get down fairly quickly. So if you're fishing high current areas, this would be a good one. If you're fishing quite deep water, this is also a good one. And even if you do want to bounce along the bottom, you can. It's one of those lures you can. Okay, so if you're down south and you want to chase some school gill or mulloway on the flats or channels or some big flathead, this would be another good one to bounce along the bottom, have that big nice wobbly tail going. But the good thing about these too, you can actually slow roll them, subsurface or even mid-water. And this is a bit a lot of people don't, they miss out on, or they'll cast their plastics out and the plastics will sink straight to the bottom every time. Because being still in a tackle trade, I'm still watching people come in and buy the same size jighead, same size hooks over and over and over again. And there's so many different varieties, and they're there for a reason, guys. Yes, they are there for different size plastics, but they've got different size heads on them too. So you can fish different water columns in different areas. You don't always have to run the same jighead and bounce the plastic along the bottom. You can run them different depths. Like something like this, I said, you can bounce on the bottom, it's got quite a bit of weight in it. But if you speed up your wind, if you give this like a 5 count, like 5 second count, then start winding slow rolling, that's going to be a mid-water. And that's what a lot of people don't get or don't use. They automatically just let it sink to the bottom. Not always the best idea, especially if you're chasing certain species. You give it a 3 count, 5 count, 10 count. If you know roughly how deep the water is, get it down mid-water and then give them a slow roll. We've talked about ones on the surface or just subsurface before, and I'll show them in a second. But just the whole idea, as I'm just trying to get the point across, is not always the bottom. Like that. Like here's one of my favourite flathead lures for down south, bouncing on the bottom. These are the old football heads. That's a 3/8 head. That's a 4/0 hook, I think. And it's like plastic. That was a great lure for bouncing along the bottom. And don't have to work it fast, once again, it's got the big coal tail. So I really enjoyed these for school gill and flathead. That was one of my favourite lures. But not a mid-water or a subsurface or lure. Something like that is. So, depending on where you are, guys, and what you want to chase, if you're down south, like I said, and chasing mulloway, a few school gill, flathead and stuff, bottom dwellers, heavier ones like this, great, bounce along the bottom or slow roll mid-water. Something like this, definitely on the bottom, bouncing. But if you're looking for, say, mangrove jacks, Barra, things like that are usually not far from the surface, just under the surface, ambushing bait, around pylons, under old boats have been moored forever, mangroves, pontoons. Then we're going to start talking about things like this. Once again, nice big paddle tails. But you put the worm hooks onto them. And these things you can cast out, and just a very slow steady wind. These will just kick just under the surface and just look like a mullet or something swimming past. Awesome, fantastic. And they're great. Not real good in high current areas, so a little bit of current, low current. No current at all if you're fishing impoundments or something like that, or even up the back in brackish water and just low current areas. These are great. Even if you do fish in current, they can be worked in current, but say the current's going this way, you don't cast down this way and then work it back. You don't go against the current. It's not going to work. Cast it up current and then work it back with the current. Okay? Work it back with you. And that way that'll give it a little bit of chance to go down and swim. If you try and drag it against fast current, it's not going to work too well. It's probably going to skip out. Okay, so you just got to keep an eye on that one. But here's the main bit we wanted to talk about. This is the bit most 90% of people miss, and it's mid-water fishing. Like, you can be out there casting your favourite lure all day and you're changing colours and you're changing jig head sizes, and just every time let it sink to the bottom, sink to the bottom, sink to the bottom. 99% of people cast out, let it sink to the bottom, and thinking there's no fish there. Your favourite fish might be there and you've got your best lure on. The problem is they're not seeing it. So this is where we're going to come back to, if you know your river systems and stuff well, you can do like a 3 count, 5 count, 10 count, whatever, and try and get it midwater. And that's when you're going to use your big soft plastics, but you're going to have the old weedless hook or worm hook, whatever you want to call them, but they're going to be weighted, so they're going to have a little bit of weight. So if you cast something like this out, it doesn't have to be this big, any type of plastic will do. If you get a worm hook to fit, like there's even a little one, and you give them a 3 count, a 5 count, a 10 count, whatever, so you think you're like roughly midwater. Let it sink down and then it's a slow roll back, and this lure will actually stay roughly that depth as you're bringing it back. And the closer it gets to you, the closer it comes through the water column, obviously. But you can fish midwater quite easily and quite a lot. And a lot of people don't fish midwater, and you should, because there are a lot of like jacks and Mulloway will come up to midwater. What else? Barra, definitely. Trevally, Queenies and stuff are all midwater. There's quite a few different species. So what you're doing is, every time you cast out and them sink to the bottom, you're actually going past fish. A lot of guys are going past fish. I'm not saying cast midwater all the time, but what I'm saying is if you're out there and you're casting and you're not getting any fish, or you're not getting any hits, and you think there's nothing there, change up. Fish the midwater for a while. Put something like this on with a small sinker so you can let it go down and fish the midwater. Try that for a while. And if that doesn't work, then go to an unweighted one and fish subsurface and just under the surface, and try that for a while. Try 3 different water columns. I'm just trying to break it down to 3 different water columns, and do that before you go home and give up. Because once again, everyone goes out, bounce on the bottom, bounce on the bottom, change the lures half a dozen times, no hits, go home. And sometimes the fish are just up here and they're just out of sight and can't see your lure. So change your hooks and your weight sizes. Fish midwater. Fish subsurface, especially if you get a subsurface, especially if you're going to be around snags and mangroves and things like that. You want to be casting up into them with these type of lures and working them back through. They're deadly. And the main lure I should have shown you, sorry guys, where is it? For this fishing subset, for fishing like midwater, where it mainly comes into its own usually is offshore. That's what I was trying to think. The minute I had up, mind blanket wasn't coming out. But fishing midwater is really good, especially with jerkbaits. So with your jerkbaits, you can use these type of hooks, but I don't use these offshore. Most guys don't. We'll go back to a jighead. But. There we go. Give you an idea. Something like that. So a little bit of weight, I don't know how heavy that is, I can't see that. What's that? Can't see that one. What is that? So it's 3/8. So a little 3/8 head on like a 6/0 hook. Something like that on a jerkbait. If you're fishing, out in 30, 40, 50 metres, these are deadly. These are going to catch snapper. Just the main species you're going to catch with these things are snapper. But you'll also get mackerel. You'll get bitten off, but you'll get mackerel as well. Okay, and if there's any cobia around or anything like that, these will work quite well too. But another thing about these things, and this is another thing that people don't think of, these actually look like a garfish. So if you jerk them, get them working like a jerkbait like they should be, and up the rivers, if you're up a river somewhere and you've got a heap of garfish around, especially if you're up north here and you're chasing Barra or down south somewhere and there's a heap of gar around, throw a jerkbait on with a lighter head, just enough to get down to midwater, and jerk it around and make it really look like a wounded bait fish. So surface down to midwater, like I said, give it a 3 count, 5 count, whatever, and then work that area. That's a really good way to get some really big fish, especially if you're, like I said, Barra, feeding up north. Before you go home, when you go lure fishing, fish your bottom. If your bottom's not working, okay, go midwater. try Midwater or something like these, depending on where you are and what species you're chasing, or if you're offshore, these things with your lighter jighead. Okay, give them a 5, 10 count, whatever, 20 count, depending on how deep the water is. And if that doesn't work, go up to these things with just your worm hook and cast them around your shallows, your snags, your mangroves. Even over, if you're down south, over the shallow banks and grassy beds looking for big flathead, they love these type of things. They really do. And you can just a slow wind over the top of all the snags and stuff. Even I know guys down south chasing Murray cod and stuff do that. Run these type of things over the trees and snags for cod. So you can, there's so many different ways you can fish plastic, guys. You just don't go by this, put your jig head on, bounce on the bottom, go home. Just stop and think about where you are, what species you want to chase. Change up your rigs, your lures, your hook sizes. Just change up, change up, change up. Keep changing and fish different water columns, okay? That's all I'm trying to drill into you, is just to fish different water columns. Don't always bounce the bottom with plastics. Buy yourself a couple of different types of plastics. Like I said, grub tails work really well, really slow, bouncing the bottom. Big paddle tails are nice for mid-water and near the surface, slow rolling. They just look like a mullet or something. Jerkbaits are really good, especially when bait's been showering everywhere, and if you're up the creeks or something, there's garfish. These things are awesome. Put a light jig head on, dance them around through the bait schools and garfish. You'd be surprised, Image Valley, Barra, Jacks, Queenies, cross knows what else is there chasing it, all have a crack. Okay, so different depths. Hope you like that one. It's just a different way to fish plastics. And once again, I'm just going to tell you guys, my new blog, Shannons Fishing, up and running, going quite well. Links down in the description if you want to find out some more tips and tricks. I've got all my PDFs and bundles and stuff over there. I will be doing some courses shortly on different species, step-by-step courses. They will be on there shortly, so go to the blog and have a look. And other than that, thanks for listening to me waffle on. I'll see you next week.